All right, guys, here we are. We got Eric's JKN on 42s. He's been wheeling it all year, 2022. And it's the end of the year. It's time to get her cleaned up. And I want to do a little bit of some before shots to just show you how dirty this thing is. We'll get the motor cleaned up and we'll get all up under here. He just had the PSC hydrosteer added to it, and then of course they had to go out and test it, and it's got all dirty, but we'll get all that cleaned up. And I've been kind of spraying her down now, just trying to loosen some of the dirt up. There we go. Sprayed the inside, trying to get it all loosened up. Seats aren't too bad. I did this Jeep a year ago. I went ahead and did the undercoating on it, so more than likely won't have to do that. But we'll probably go ahead and take the wheels and tires off and take these rings off and get them sanded and repainted. Everything is already out of the Jeep. Here runs the refrigerator here. There's the ARB compressor. Got a bunch of leaves up in there we'll blow out or suck out with a shop vac. Hadn't really just sprayed that side off, and you can see it's had it sprayed down, but just that's all they did was spray it down. They didn't clean it up good because he's bringing it to me, right? So but yeah, here's some of the dash components areas, and he's only running 2 front floor mats, WeatherTechs. So this is the first step here. We'll get her sprayed down just a little bit with the water hose, and then once you get it kind of the dirt loosened up a little bit, we'll soak her down with some simple green and start pressure washing it. And then we'll let it sit for about a day or so, go back again, look at it, inspect it, and sometimes when they're this dirty we may have to go back with a second pressure washing just to hit some areas that we missed the first time to make sure we get it all good, and then repeat it again. So stay tuned. All right, here's the simple green. I like to use a spray bottle with a good sprayer. You can really reach places with it. And we'll start with the engine. Now his air filter points down, which is really good. But most of the time we'll take a trash bag or a plastic bag and route that. Definitely want to get water in there, but you really got to watch where you spray around these engine areas, especially like around the electrical up in these areas and the fuse boxes and stuff like that. Just don't really have to pressure wash those, just kind of just hit them real quick. So but yeah, all we do is just soak her all down real good with some simple green, and now loosen all of that dirt up. The engine compartment is the hardest because of the heat. Once dirt and mud hits that engine where it's hot, it just bakes that dirty water or mud onto everything. It's really hard to get off, but this stuff works really good on the tires. Just soak everything down much as possible. You don't really have to worry about it drying. I mean, I wouldn't leave it on here no hour or two, but like right now the sun's out and I can spray it on this tire here, and probably by the time I get to it, it'll look kind of dry, but once the pressure washer hits it, it'll start loosening that simple green up and start pulling all that dirt that's got into the rubber here, and start getting all that stuff out of there. So anyway, this is basically how the simple green works. I'll get on the creeper and we'll go up underneath it and spray everything down with that, and then when we pressure wash it, we'll start underneath it because we don't want to start up here and then the water be dripping down on us. So we'll start underneath it, get as much as we can underneath it, and then just basically do the engine compartment. And then after the engine compartment, we just walk around the Jeep and get as much as we can. So there it is. All right, we just finished our first bucket of Simple Green there, and yeah, when they're pretty dirty like this, you'll end up going through quite a bit of Simple Green. I like to use Simple Green for the fact it's eco-friendly, and it's a little bit of a breeze out here, so some of it blows on you and gets in your face or your eyes, it don't burn you. And it really does a good job too. But as you can see here, basically got down to here. I'm gonna have to roll the Jeep forward or back to get the other side of the tires there, but it's pretty dirty Jeep. Went through some mud, so we got to get every place that we can spray it. We will spray it. There's gonna be aluminum skid plate here. It's drive shaft. Got on the rock there a little bit. We'll touch all that up and scrape this chunk there and this diff, and there's quite a bit of mud still stuck to the frame there, but we sprayed it down, got some Simple Green all over it, and it'll loosen it up. Hit it with a pressure washer, but yeah, just you gotta spray it everywhere you can, and then it's the pressure washer. It's hard to get in some of these places, so that's why I go back after it dries and see what I missed, and then touch it up. So we got a Simple Green on her, and now we'll fire the pressure washer up, and like I said, we'll start with the bottom, then go to the motor compartment, and then do a walk around with it. And I'll show you what it looks like when we get done with that. All right, we're back here with Eric's Jeep. It's after finally got through the holidays of Christmas and the crazy cold weather. It's just been sitting for basically over a week. It's good. As you can see, it's sunny and warming up. So we get to the next step. The interior's looking good on it. We got just cleaning up some dash areas to do left on it, wiping down the cage. Now today we can do some touching up on the sliders, that area. But first I'm going to take these, I'm going to take the front wheels and tires off, and we're going to get these calipers cleaned up and painted, get that over with, and the Jeep touched up with all the scratches, get all that knocked out, and then we can start cleaning on these rings here. Be the last hardest thing. So let me get these wheels and tires off, and we'll go from there. All right, we got Eric's wheels and tires off. I went ahead and washed the back sides of the wheels and tires. You can do pressure washer, Simple Green pressure washer, Dawn, just a wash rag, whatever. Just get them clean. This is what we got with the brakes. System is still a little residual dirt here. See if we can't get that off. We'll use just a Simple Green and a rag, spray it on, wipe it down. And it's gotten really windy. Get all this taped off, and hopefully we can catch the wind when it's not so windy, and get these brake calipers painted. So hang on and stay tuned. Okay, we got the front wheel all taped up here, ready to paint the caliper. Just tape everything off around it. Also clean this up much as you can. He had a, of course he's gone to the hydraulic steer, so he had where the tie rod was there earlier, had it got rusted up a little bit. So basically just take a wire brush and get all much as you can off of it. And then I took some brake cleaner and sprayed it off real good, wiped it down real good. And same thing with this. Take the wire brush, hit it all these areas right here, loosen all that stuff up. Take a brake cleaner, spray it down real good, clean it, And now we're ready to paint the calipers. All right, so got the caliper painted. Turned out really good. Just taped off everything. Took my time. Wind is blowing, so I had to wait between periods of the wind dying down. The paint I used here is the Duplicolor caliper, and it's got the enamel with ceramic in it, so it works really good. It goes on really easy, and it doesn't take much at all. So it'll go a long way. I'm doing touch-ups. Next is, let me show you a little trick here. I get so many Jeeps that as you're touching these rock sliders up here, and especially when they get down under here, I use Steelite black, little gun on it. But I get so many Jeeps when they touch this up, they get like overspray on the side of the Jeep. So as you're spraying like this here, you'll get overspray on the bottom of the door and stuff. So quick, easy fix and solution to that is just cut you off a piece of cardboard. You see how I've used this quite a bit. And basically you just stick it behind here, and then you paint, and then if you overspray it, it gets on the cardboard. And it's good for wind situations. I thought I was going to have to use it on this caliper here. If it got too windy, it wouldn't die down. You can stick this thing back here like this, and it'll block a lot of the wind overspray from, getting back up in this area, up in here and stuff. So there we go. All right, we got the rear done now. I just kind of didn't show that just because it's the same as the front. Just tape everything off, but the rear caliper's painted. We got everything touched up on the inside here, cleaned up. It's looking really good. And got all that kind of done in there and up in there and stuff. Got a little bit more wiping to do, but WD-40 take care of that. But anyway, just I'll show you the rear real quick. Been trying to hurry to get this done before it gets dark and rainy. But there's the rear. All right, now we're gonna get some of the interior, the dash knocked out today. It's a little rainy outside, so we'll get on this. Temperature is still pretty decent in the, I think, high 40s, low 50s, something like that. But we're you can see behind the visor here, it's got a lot of dust back there, and up in here on the roof, we'll wipe all that down. We get it all wiped down. Basically, just use a rag and some simple green there, and we'll just start spraying and wiping. And probably spend about an hour on it. And when we get done, I'll show you what it looks like with the simple green. That's just, the simple green is just getting all the big stuff off. And then we'll go over it with a detailer, inside detailer. It kind of gives it a little bit more shine and a pop look. Anyway, stay tuned. All right, we're back here with Eric's Jeep. It's finally sunny and pretty, so we're gonna get his rings painted. And just a pretty simple process. I just jacked the Jeep up on stands and let all the air out, take all the bolts out. We got some new hardware we're gonna replace, but just to show you how muddy or how much mud gets behind the rings on these kind of wheels. So we'll get all this cleaned up, and then get all this grinded down and painted, and then hopefully get all this done today and get it back together looking good with the wheels and tires. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Alrighty, we got the rings painted, and on there went with the zinc grade A bolts on it. Looks really good. They torqued them down, put anti-seize on the new bolts, and got the other in here painted, ready to put on. So all it is pretty much just grind this down around here good and smooth where they get eaten up by rocks. And then I spray them with brake cleaner to get all the grease and dirt off of them, and put a little coat of primer on them, and then paint them. Let them set and let them dry, and that's it. Alrighty, just finished up cleaner waxing Eric's Jeep. Basically all I did was just rub put the wax on by hand, let it dry, and then used the buffing wheel to just basically all I did was take it off with that. And she is definitely shinier now. It took some oxidation off of it, and it is good and slick. Took some of the scratches out. The big ones, of course, gonna be there. It's just, instead of having dull scratches, now we have shiny scratches. So, but there's still some places where the buffer won't get. What I'll do is take a towel, wipe the whole Jeep down with the towel, and then come back and I'll probably wash it again just to get any kind of like stuff that gets in here, that wax dust, it'll get all in your cracks. So I'll just basically just kind of just a quick wash, probably not even soap, just take the mitt. And speaking of the mitt, the windshield here got super dirty on the inside because of having to spray everything in here and clean it up. So what I do when that windshield gets really dirty from dust or mud or just whatever, when I get through washing the Jeep, I'll wring the mitt out and then just take the mitt and just wash the windshield inside with the mitt, and then come back with a shimmy or chamois and dry it off, and that'll get 90% of it off. And then of course we'll go back and put glass cleaner on it and wipe it down really good. A lot of places in here I thought were places I didn't get. It's just the windshield is really pitted. It's been across the country a few times, so it's probably got some places in the windshield, like here. It's like a crack in the windshield here. So it's just almost like it's been sandblasted. But anyway, we'll just clean it up best we can, and that's all you can do. But next step, like I said, is we'll wipe her down and just give it a quick wash, and then let her dry, and then on to the last couple of steps, and we're done. Alrighty, we have got it all wiped down. Here's the motor, looking like a brand new one. Took me about 15 minutes to probably spray all of the WD-40, and probably about an hour to wipe it all down. And when you wipe it all down, you have got to, what I do is that I touch every single part of it I can with the rag. So wipe it all down real good. Get the creeper here and crawl under it and show you. You even got the wheels after, like I said, I wipe everything underneath it first to get the rag soaked with WD-40. And here she is, final product. Turn and go toward the front. There's the front of it, underneath it, motor area. Let's see, right there, motor area. But yeah, wipe all this down first. And then, like I said, that'll saturate your rag. And then with Eric's, here I went, did all the inner fenders, wiped them all down. Come back and wipe the armor here, the bumpers down. Even wipe the wheels with it. So It just makes everything easier to clean up next time. We got the interior down. Almost had to stop and go drink me a pina colada. It smells so good. But yeah, it's turned out really good. It's not real greasy with that silicone in it. Just makes it good and slick. And if you want it not as shiny, it's not real shiny, but if you don't want it as shiny, just take your damp rag and wipe over it. It'll tone it down. Here's the rear seats. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And the only thing left I'll do before we deliver it or Eric come and picks it up is I'll go back and do a spray wax on it, just from any kind of WD-40 that might have got overspray on it. I'll wipe all that down, wipe all this back down again, clean the windshield one more time, and that will be it. So I probably got around 25 hours, maybe somewhere in there, 25, 30, no more than 30. But I'm not going to armor all the tires or nothing like that, because the last thing Eric wants to do is get on a rock and have WD-40 or armor all over his tire and sliding all over the place. These are stickies, so we won't be putting nothing on those. But yeah, that is pretty much it with the hours in it. But once you get it this way, like I keep mine this way, that's how I kind of got started with it, is just keeping mine clean. Everybody asking, but you can pretty much do half of this process every time you wheel, and it takes me inside, underneath it, and the motor on my Jeep, and drying and cleaning it about 3 hours at the most. So if you get it to this point and just kind of do a little work every time you wheel, spray it off real good, touch up all your scratches, and then put the magic on it, it will stay this way. So we are pretty much done with it, and we'll just wait for Eric to come and pick it up and see what he thinks. Thanks.